Hey guys, it's Jay. Welcome back to the channel. I always end up doing that somehow. It's just ridiculous. Guys, it's been a crazy day for toy news as usual. As usual it is. I mean, we've had a little bit of Mutt news, we had a lot of GI Joe news, and that's actually what we want to talk about today. And to help me navigate this crazy sea of action figure news is my very good friend who's his whole channel is based on a GI Joe and nostalgia. But I got to tell you, somehow, some way, it always gets pulled into some sort of wrestling, idea. But we love that about his channel, guys. Please welcome my very good friend from Toy Kennections, Ken. How are you today, my friend?
Happy to be back. Happy to talk Joe's. Thanks for inviting me on. I know when I saw the reveals today, all I could think about was, man, I'd love to do a stream. And then you messaged me, and I'm like, I won't be home for a few hours. And you're just like, we'll wait a little bit for you, Ken. We'll be good to go. And I'm like, thank you so much. You're a good friend in that regard. So I won't even try to bust your balls about starting the stream while muted at all, except I'm mentioning it right now in a passive aggressive way. Hey, let's talk some Joes.
I'm always forgetting that damn thing. It's. I swear, if I forget, if I put it on mute, it's always going to stay on mute. But anyway, all right. So, Ken, what happened today? Like, oh my gosh, just everything in the kitchen sink just hit the airwaves. What was any surprises on your end? Were you surprised by anything today?
Yeah, I didn't expect to see Shadow Tracker.
Wow.
I didn't expect to see the female 2-pack.
Really? Okay, that's interesting.
I think they talked about it, but maybe seeing it was a little bit different. Like, I know I saw people on Facebook talking about it, but I forgot whether it was an actual thing that was officially planned, or whether I just saw people speculating. It didn't click in my head. We see so much media every single day. I'm sure the Ken of 3 months ago remembered it and burned it in his head, and then purged it out of his head later on. So,
any other surprises?
The sheer number that's available for pre-order today was a big surprise, because I'm like, they're not going to slow roll these. They're just going to hit our wallets really hard. So
yeah,
I took a bit of a hit today, but what? It's all worth it in the end.
Yep, it is. And of course, my mic just fell. What the heck? This is.
That's okay. It's all good. No, I mean, it's not okay, but I'll like monitor the chat for you in case anything big stands out. Well, you got a bunch of people on already, which is good for an impromptu stream with hardly any notice. So you're doing well there. Fun.
Did I ever do a notice? I mean, seriously, like nobody knows I'm actually going to go live anytime. It's just what it is. But why don't you say hi to a few people in the stream there, Ken, while I'm trying to fix this?
Oh, yeah, sure. I mean, we got a lot of people there right now. We got Nolan, we got Yojo OC, Aaron Hardy, Lord, Hoiji, Ryan Federico, Monkey, Jeebus, Tony AK, Bloodsport 1, Airstream 21. We got Bridge Stadler, Fright Zone. We got a few more people probably just getting the notification right now. So while you're getting your mic set up again, look, I'm going to say, people in the chat, I see some folks are saying which ones they ordered and pre-ordered and all that. Eternian Ellipsis on, Addy Boy is on. Getting my alter ego to flex, says Eternian Ellipse. Oh, my boy, Treasures for Trigger Phil is here. Another really great YouTube channel who does some GI Joe, some Motu, and all that. Everyone, subscribe to Treasures for Trigger. Actually, yeah, whatever. Mega J doesn't mind if I pump another channel. It's all good. It's all good. We got Mighty D18. Yeah. I pre-ordered a lot. I grabbed Snow Job off of Pulse because it was a Pulse exclusive, even though that means it'll probably show up at GameStop here. And I added Scrap Iron to that order because I figured, may as well save shipping. It's like, to Canada, it's like $21.99 if you order just one item, or $26.99 for 2 items.
Yep.
So I figured Scrap Iron's the more expensive one, and the exchange rate's always a bit funny. Like, it'll be 44 US and it'll be like 70 Canadian. I'm like, that's not the exchange rate.
Nope.
So I figured I'd get Scrap Iron from Pulse, and then I ordered 5 other figures from E-Collectibles here in Canada. And I'm not sure, did I see the females go up too? They may have been a Pulse exclusive as well.
They are a Pulse exclusive.
Okay.
And, that's why it may or may not show up here at GameStop. But, better to be safe than sorry. All right. So let's get this started, Ken.
Yeah.
This was pretty crazy today. So, yeah, the team over at Hasbro Pulse, Emily, Lenny, and Tony were the presenters for today, and they did a great job as always.
Mhm.
Love these guys whenever they're presenting for us. Yeah, some crazy reveals happened today. First of which, of course, was one of the first ones was a mainline version of a Firefly.
Yes.
That was a surprise.
Yes, and it just leaves me to wonder. Like this one didn't go up for pre-order today, at least as far as I saw.
No,
But
these are all these are only our mainline releases ahead of time. So this is like future releases, as far as I know.
okay, for this one, good, because I didn't see it go up for pre-order. Because they said it'd be 8 figures, and it was hard to keep up with which 8 specifically would be. I ordered 7 of the 8 today. Firefly, I'm glad to see him looking like this, but it just begs the question: what do I do with my other Firefly now? Because they're filling the same gap. It's not like one is in a sub team and one is not, right? So they're kind of covering the same gap now.
I think this one's more of a traditional Firefly. The other one was the Cobra Island exclusive, I believe. And if I'm not mistaken, he had the vest, which was really hindering his ab crunch ability.
Yes, it was. He got the big flak vest, and people didn't really like it, and I preferred it without it. But I wasn't sure at the time. I wasn't sure how long the GI Joe classified line would go, and the rest of him was good. Right? It's just that vest was a little bit surprising, a little off-putting, but different. It was, and it wasn't a bad thing in a way that that it was a bad design or anything. It's just it wasn't the Firefly I knew from that perspective. Like he's like 60-70% of the way there, and that vest makes it look a little different. This is the Firefly I grew up with. Right.
Absolutely. And we also got to take into consideration that this particular Firefly has a heck of a lot more accessories, which are more. Or is it more of the same? I'm just going to pull out my Firefly right now, but I'm pretty sure
the other one has the drone.
Yes,
has the flying drone on the backpack. Yes.
Yeah, this one though has the roller drone.
Yeah, different kind of drone. Okay, fair enough.
Slightly different. Looking at it now, I think the backpack might be slightly different as well.
It is.
Yeah, that one's actually more because this one here, it's a bit more like a traditional backpack. That one looks more like very akin to what Zartan actually came with, which is kind of fun.
Yeah, the shape looks like that.
Yeah, he also has a lot of his accessories are very different. He has a detonator, right? He's got a detonator. He's got a sidearm, and he's got this Uzi with a stock and a knife. Those are things which actually, you know what? Pretty much everything he comes with, except for maybe the goggles, are the only thing which really is the same. He even comes with 2 detonators.
And and I think it's different goggles too. And Monkey Jeebus in the chat makes a good point. Realistic guns, no more Nerf.
Yeah. The other thing is he doesn't have that twitchy eye, which is actually what he had in this version here. I wonder. People have taken off this vest, and I wonder if it's the same. I wonder if it's actually the same buck from underneath.
I know he looks pretty blank underneath, and that's why Gridiron Studios did like an upgrade kit. I think the way it works with the Gridiron upgrade kit is you take out the vest and they give a gear pack that looks more like this.
Gotcha.
I'd have to take a closer look at it. So yeah,
he's looking pretty good. I'm obviously I already have one. Not really sure if I'm gonna go for this one, but he does have some really cool accessories. So we shall see if he ends up in my collection. But the next pipeline release, so the next pipeline announcement was Lowlight.
Yes.
Wow, Lowlight. Holy crap. I mean, this is just crazy. Obviously, the sniper of the GI Joe team. A very, very, very big fan favorite, especially since he had that one episode where he took on Cobra in his mind. Very, very cool character. Very obviously he doesn't really sleep much, but yeah. What do you think? What do you think of this character?
Well, we're gonna get a Marauders version, obviously, just like we got with Barbecue. I love the way this looks. All the accessories. This was another one that I almost tried to like kit bash a Gridiron one together because they have a kit for it, but you need to get a certain buck and a head swap. And I waited a little bit, and I'm like, no, just keep waiting. And then this came out, so I was like, my goodness, this looks good.
It does.
Yeah. Now, does he come with enough accessories to be a deluxe like Snow Job is being released as, and what Sarge was released at? So he's got a big case there.
Yeah, I don't think that he will be a deluxe. I doubt that. Of the case, though, you could make an argument for that. That's kind of ridiculous, in my opinion, though. I believe he's like the deluxes are now at a crazy price point, like 35. Like I believe it's like $35 a figure.
Yeah.
Whereas I believe the regular editions are going to be like $22 or $24.
I think they went up to $24.99, and then these are $34.99, and the ones with a pet are $44.99. And Emily was very specific today that the drone counts as a pet.
Okay. I'm not sure if this guy would fall under Deluxe, although you could argue that. I think that there are just he doesn't have a ton. Like if you look at Snow Job, that is a lot. Snow Job has a lot. This I don't think is enough to justify the Deluxe price. I don't think.
Yeah, but Kamakura was released as a Deluxe because of the head swap and a bunch of ninja weapons, right?
But I believe that actually was released as Deluxe because of Amazon. I believe that was
actually that makes sense. When the retailer plays a factor, you're right. Okay. Yeah, because Sarge came as a Deluxe as well because he came with his minifigure.
Well, that's too, but I think that actually had to do with more like licensing and his likeness rights. I believe that there was a huge, as you know, it first went to Velaverse, and then I guess the money was just too good. So
Sarge says something about being in talks with Hasbro even a couple of years before that. But you know what? I could probably just ask Kelly. Like I'm literally in a chat group with his daughter. I may as well just ask her. I'm like, any idea?
It's well deserved. It's well deserved. I'm not trying to say that Sarge doesn't deserve the bonus. I think it's well deserved. I mean, like for them not to approach him very at least like get the jump on Velaverse. I think that there is a bit of that going forward. So anyway, it's all good in this particular instance. So I'm not 100% sure if this is going to be although you could argue with that. I mean, like if it fits in here, I think that's a really big argument for making this into a Deluxe figure. So I guess we'll have to see.
I hope not. Like anyway,
yeah, me too. And I believe you're the one who wanted to talk about this particular figure coming up. Yeah, it's sorry, I can't remember the name of this guy.
Shadow Tracker.
Wow, holy crap! I didn't think we were going to get some of these guys this early on in the wave. Like this is kind of crazy.
This is a deep cut figure, right?
Yeah,
it's from the 2011 Pursuit of Cobra line. He's like a forest tracker who swears off firearms and does basically just hand-to-hand weapons. Now, I don't know if I'm allowed to share a screen while you're sharing a screen.
No, we'll switch it up. So let me link it back there. All right, why don't you throw it up there? And yep,
yeah.
What we got?
So this is not the Pursuit of Cobra version. This is actually, there's a company called Red Lasers Army run by actually a friend of mine named Darren Howlett. Like if you're familiar with Black Major, Red Lasers Army does the exact same sort of or did for a while, a very similar type of O-ring type of design. And they saw that that Shadow Tracker was put in the modern 4-inch scale Pursuit of Cobra line. So they did their own bootleg O-ring version of what he would look like if he was an O-ring figure. So they did this back around 2017 or so, and nobody really knew who Shadow Tracker was, right? And now, like Kamakura, they've gone deep cut and they put this character in the line. Again, this is one of those bootleg customs, but it's they did a run of 500 or 1,000 of them.
Gotcha.
So it was a deep cut back then. Nobody wanted the figure at the time, and now everyone's going to know about it, right? So, yeah. So that's just kind of a quick aside that, this figure did make the round in very, very niche GI Joe circles. The reason I'm pulling this image up, because I was trying to find my own figure and I couldn't find it back here and I couldn't find it in my storage. And I'm like, did I get rid of that figure? Well, now I can get another one in the classified line. Yeah. So yeah, but anyway, that's just what I wanted to show and let some people in the chat see the custom fan made version that was released in the hundreds of quantities a number of years ago. And Darren is now gone on. He's folded Red Lasers Army. He's starting his own independent O-ring company now called Legends of the Hidden Force, and it's going to be ninja based. So the man has a future in the toy industry, thankfully.
That's great. And, we wish him the best of luck. Absolutely. All right. So getting back to the mainline releases. So this is going to be as far as I know, it's going to be in the pipeline release. But we did get a few other figures who were announced as name only releases. Oh, sorry, I forgot. Before we go on there, one last figure to talk about. Man, it's Tunnel Rat.
Larry Hama.
Oh my goodness, Tunnel Rat himself is joining. What were they again? The Roughnecks, or what was the team called?
Rawhides.
The Rawhides.
Rawhides.
That's right. The Rawhides. That's right. Straight out of the GI Joe movie. Yeah, this is a really cool figure. Were you expecting this guy? Because I sure wasn't this early on.
Not this early. Like I figured that it's a popular enough character. And I don't know if they're using Larry Hama's likeness there. But they might be, I'm not sure. But with how popular the character was, with it being a character from the movie, it's hard not to put this character in the line. But yes, like you said, this early, didn't expect it.
Absolutely.
So.
He's got the two green flashlights. He's got the backpack. Man, is that a flare gun or is that an actual Magnum? Because that thing looks like it means business. Holy crap! The night vision goggles. He's got the military jungle knife, and he's got this. What is that, man? That is a big, heavy duty. What are those, like 30mm shells? Like, holy crap, those are huge. Oh my god!
This guy's armed to the teeth.
Yeah, he is ridiculous armed to the teeth. With a very, very small armaments, but I mean the ones he has are just pack a punch. This is crazy. Did he come with all these armaments as the vintage version, or
not? No, he came with the backpack, the goggle. Sorry, the backpack, the flashlights. He had something around his neck that was like a pouch of some sort, and then a gun. I don't recall seeing a knife. I'm trying to look back here to see if I can find him, but I don't recall. I don't think he came with anything else. I think it was literally a gun, a thing around his neck, backpack, and two flashlights.
He's got a full metal jacket here for his actual that big ass gun. I got to tell you, that thing's huge.
Yeah. Oh, he is wearing his pouch. There we go. He does actually have it on his it's just a lot more pronounced on the older figures.
Absolutely. So, but this is a very good indication that the Rawhides are going to be completed in the near future, which I think fan favorite Jinx is going to be part of that as well. Of course, Law and Order, and what was the basketball player's name again? I can't remember.
Big Lob.
Big Lob. That's right, Big Lob. So yeah, we're gonna
and Chuckles.
Yes, one exactly. Hopefully, we're gonna see all of them in the. I mean, technically. Falcon was part of the Raw.
Technically, yeah. It's just that in the scene where Beachhead names the Rawhides, he's like, "Wait a minute, there's only 5 of you. Where is Lieutenant Falcon?"
That's right.
And I don't know if he calls them the Rawhides again after that. Maybe he does, but anyway, yeah.
Interesting. And the problem is that it's always been a bit of a controversy that he is a officer and everybody else is basically just a grunt. Interesting kind of parallel there. Yeah, this was very, very exciting on all counts. Did I already bring it up or not? I'm trying to remember. I don't think I did. Okay, I have it on a different screen. That's why. All right, and then there were name only releases today as well, and these were a huge, pleasant surprise for me. But I'm pretty sure it was a shock to a lot of people. So on the name only releases. We were treated to some fan favorites here, Ken. The first of which, honestly, he must have been really late into the line because I completely forgot about this guy. Yeah, we got Big Boa.
Yeah, I think it was 87 or 88. I think 87, I think.
Yeah. Wasn't there a controversy on this that he was actually named after Rocky Balboa?
I think they wanted to get Rocky into the line and then they couldn't. I think that's what it was. I'm kind of forgetting.
Yeah, so they just went with a character called Big Boa.
Yeah, instead of Balboa.
Yeah. Did he ever show up in media at all?
Not in the cartoon. No, he did show up in the comics.
He looks cool. I like the way he looks. He's got that those He-Man like straps. Very much Legion of Doom inspired there. He's got that crazy helmet, which I don't know if it's kind of like a football helmet, but not. And of course, he's got the 2 boxing gloves with the Cobra insignia. He's got the cod piece and some crazy ass boots. Did he come with the boxing?
Yes, he came. He came with the boxing bag. In his 87 release, yes.
Crazy. I'm pretty sure he's going to be a very sought after figure. Do you have in your collection too, Ken?
Yeah. He's back there somewhere. I can't keep up with what's where anymore, but He's back here somewhere. Now that oh, there he is. I see him back there. He's got the mouth breather, the silver mouth breather that everybody loses. Yeah,
it's going to be a lot of fun. I wonder what type of accessories he's going to come with this time around. I don't think he, as a fighter, I don't think he'll be coming with any guns, but I wonder if he'll have a lot more in terms of like melee weapons at all.
Oh, you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna bring like a full like hanging gym bag, and they're gonna make it a deluxe. They're gonna use that as the reason to make it a deluxe. You just know Hasbro at this point.
I'm hoping that he'll still come under the regular price point.
I hope so too, but just knowing Hasbro, and hopefully they're not listening to this stream, but just I don't know. Like when we got talking about the Lowlight thing, I was like, they're totally gonna do this with Big Boa, aren't they? Please don't, please don't.
Crazy. It's gonna be pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Well, Big Boa is a name only release. We don't know when he's going to actually be fully unveiled, but he will. As far as a pipeline release, he's somewhere way down the line.
Yes.
Another name only release today was very exciting for many GI Joe fans. Mutt and Junkyard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is it's about time.
Yeah, 100%. Like. One of the earlier characters, right? Like 1984. So like kind of like the peak years of GI Joe, because it means that when the Sunbow cartoon fully debuted as a full series, not just as a mini series in 85, a lot of the 84 characters were still on store pegs. Absolutely. Right? So Junkyard is probably, I mean, like among the pets of GI Joe, who are the ones that are the most well known? You've got Polly, you've got Timber, and you probably got Junkyard.
Yep, those are the main three.
Right. I mean, there's Law and Order as well, and a few others.
But that's much later down.
But that's a bit late. Yeah, it's basically at the end of the cartoon line already.
Yep. But with Junkyard, he was always able to sniff out trouble, right? And again, he was just one of those companion characters, especially when they got trapped in the cartoon series, when they got trapped with the creeping vines. I mean, he was right there, warning everybody about all the danger. It was a lot of fun. I think this is going to be that animal companion where they're going to price it at, what did you say it was, like $55, $45?
45 US is what they is what they charge. They're charging Scrap Iron at, and that's what they charged. I believe they charged the Alpha Commandos, Snake Eyes, and Timber at that. I think.
Yeah. I can we're gonna get to the pricing on that for Scrap Iron, but this one is a very exciting release. Another huge fan favorite that was announced today, name only, Quick Kick. Finally,
yes.
Finally, we're getting a Quick Kick. Now, there's a lot of there are a lot of people who will always mention the idea that Quick Kick should actually be the rival of
Storm Shadow.
But I don't know. I always felt Quick Kick was more of a Jackie Chan kind of like a character. So yes. He'll take on anybody. So I always felt that was a lot of fun.
I think the reason they say that is because in his first appearance in the Sunbow cartoon, he shows up in the Arctic and he and Storm Shadow jump at each other, and Quick Kick gets the best of Storm Shadow and leaves Storm Shadow face down in the snow. So I think because of that encounter, they look at him as the rival of Storm Shadow. But then later on in that cartoon series, Spirit and Storm Shadow are kind of rivals, right? But if Storm Shadow is really going to be that deadly of an assassin ninja, he needs an equal assassin ninja type. Not that Snake Eyes is an assassin, but an equal type like Snake Eyes. If this character is a movie stuntman, right, and we don't really get a lot of look behind the curtain about his level of martial arts training, then make him a stuntman. Don't make him the rival of the deadly Cobra Ninja. Is kind of how I see it in general, right?
Yeah, and I tend to look at him. I tend to look at him as a very Jackie Chan type of character. Very jovial, and not that he needs a rivalry. Just that he's a guy who wants to help and just happens to be skilled. And people look to him to basically get into situations and get out very, very quickly. So
absolutely.
Looking forward to this guy. Can't see him having many more accessories than Snake Eyes or Storm Shadow.
Oh gosh, no.
Yeah,
probably less, if anything, right? Quick discussion about a deep cut while we're talking about ninjas and Kamakura. There's a couple of really great issues in the GI Joe Devil's Due run from the 2000. I think it ran from 2001 to 2005. And I did a short video on it when I introduced Kamakura just to the audience that I have. And it's clear in the comics, especially in Devil's Due, that Snake Eyes is the only one who can match Storm Shadow. Like when Snake Eyes was away from the headquarters and Storm Shadow showed up to infiltrate and potentially assassinate General Hawk, nobody could stand up to him. He just jumped over everybody. The closest that could stand up to him was Kamakura. Like Kamakura stood up to him, put up a fight, but eventually lost. But that bought Snake Eyes enough time to come back, and then he and Snake Eyes go at it for the entire next issue. It's just amazing how they tell the story, right? But like nobody could stand up to him, right? So.
Well, exactly, and we do know throughout the cartoon that was established that he was better than everyone else eventually.
Yeah,
and just like anything else, anyone can get a lucky strike in. And
oh, did I lose you? Is that me or is that you? All right. I'll keep going. But yeah, so as Jay was saying, anybody can get a lucky strike in. But like that's why I got familiar with Kamakura, was because during that GI Joe Devils Do run, anytime Storm Shadow was around, Kamakura was like, let me at him. You know what I mean? And he couldn't beat him, but he was the only one who could last more than a few seconds in a fight with Storm Shadow, except for Snake Eyes, right? When Snake Eyes was there, he and Storm Shadow would fight toe to toe. And in that issue that I was talking about, where he chased off, you're back now. When Snake Eyes had to chase off Storm Shadow, he had the help of Kamakura, and that's why Storm Shadow had to retreat eventually in that issue 9 or issue 8 of Devil's Due, GI Joe Real American Hero. Jay, I think your audio's back. Oh no, your audio's wow. Okay, you've logged off. I'll improv here and just keep the show going, and hopefully Jay makes it back so that we can keep going with the stream. But just catching up with the chat a little bit here. I see Kid Chuckle, you're online. You won a recent prize from a giveaway that me and Jay did. Oh, you are back. Good to see you. I am
back.
You are back. It's all good. I could have kept going for a little bit longer, but what's going on your end there?
I don't know. The mic just cut out for some strange reason. But anyway, we'll continue. Thanks for keeping that going.
I've always got your back. You know that.
Absolutely, 100%. Yeah. So very excited. The Quick Kick is in the house, and yes, Kid Chuckle did win. I'm going to walk it over to his house, so we'll see how that goes. So yeah, lots of great guys in the chat right now. Sorry we're not going through everybody. I'm trying to flash people's comments as often as I can, but we're alone right now. We're alone, and we're trying to manage this one on our own. I wish if any of my mods are in here, hopefully something like that. But anyway, yeah.
Well, you got Kid Chuckle as a mod, or do you mean chat mod, or do you mean StreamYard mod?
No, StreamYard mod.
Oh yeah, you need Oz in here if that's the case.
Yeah, I know. Unfortunately, he's fast asleep. So guys, good to see everybody. And we're gonna continue though. So Quick Kick is definitely one of those fan favorites, and again, like I said, anybody can get a lucky hit on somebody. So I think that's probably what happened. In terms of like the Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow parallel, as we know, that was retconned much later. I mean, he was originally just a covert operative, and then they brought him into the fold of the Arashikage, and that whole storyline just exploded. And but you know what, for the better. Definitely 100% for the better. Okay, so let's start talking about the actual reveals for today, because I think that's man, there have been so many things that that happened today. It was just absolutely ridiculous. So we're gonna stop this one here. Remove. Stop the screen. Present. And where are we here? This is what happens when you get cut off of your own equipment.
Yeah.
All right.
Catch up.
So over at Hasbro Pulse, man, can you believe that they just put everything out on pre-order for today? It was just absolutely insane.
And some people have commented on the potential Arctic bat that's behind Snow Job.
This is something crazy. We're gonna get to them a little bit later because they are the exclusives of the line. I really wanted to talk about guys like Scrap Iron here. Wow, like I remember the digital renders are one thing, but they revealed his face today, and that really got me going.
with the burn scar on the side of his head
Yeah,
too.
just absolutely crazy. I mean, I love the environments that they put these guys in. Like, oh my gosh,
The
look at
photography has leveled up. It's like have they got John from Emerald Night Photos doing their photography now
maybe
all of
you
a
never know.
sudden,
Maybe he's
or
moonlighting it.
or Trevor from 1/6 Shooter, Four Horsemen doing this. Like, I wonder
You
if he's
just
doing.
never know. And look, you know what? This looks like real snow. I'm probably not, but it almost looks like snowflakes. I mean, seriously, how did they manage this? This is absolutely insane.
I wish I could tell you, but like, if I could do photography like this all the time, wow! Like, look at that! Look at the blast effects and everything.
Oh, honestly, like it almost looks as if it's actually in motion. You know what I mean? Look, you can see the snow being crunched around and moved. Again, I don't know how they're doing it. Whether they're blasting the air around them, but man, they really have leveled up in terms of in terms of their overall photography. This is
It
just
just makes you
incredible.
want to like it's doing a lot to help sell the product.
Absolutely, and this is definitely Johnny Five right here, Killer Johnny Five. I'm loving the blast. This is the first time I think in a long time where the blast effects really do enhance the whole experience. Before blast effects are kind of like ma with this with this white chemtrail and everything like that. I'm really enjoying these guys.
Oh gosh. Um, yeah. It's funny how this was a small accessory that was packed into the figure back in the original 1983 or 84 release. Oh my god, I think 83, I think, release. And all of a sudden now it's like a full-fledged like tank drone, right?
It's just crazy, and
And
it's like a mini tank in and of itself. And I think a lot of people are saying that the treads might move. I don't see how that's possible. They're a very odd design, and I don't see them as rubber. If they do move, that's incredible. I think
well, you
that'll
got to bear in mind this is probably a paint master, right? Like this is probably not the this may not be the official because they don't ship till what, September?
something like that. Yeah.
So this might be the paint master, not the actual figure itself,
Got you.
right?
The
So
numerous
yeah,
effects that they have are just ridiculous. I mean, they have all these swirling fire effects. They have these cloud bursts.
yeah.
All these things. It's just incredible the amount of stuff that comes with this particular pack out. And then of course he's looking like honestly he sort of reminds me of what's it called, the Goonies. The I can't remember his name. The guy from the Goonies. The one the one who's deformed. The big
I
guy.
thought you were gonna say Two-Face for a second. There.
No, no, no.
It's like Harvey Dent. That's not a Goonie. I don't know. I don't really know the Goonies very well.
Well,
Sloth, maybe
he was
is it? It's in the chat.
Grunk or something like that. Crunk.
Sloth? No,
No, it's Grunk, I think, or
Grunk.
it's
People are saying Sloth or Taserface.
Sloth or Taserface. No, the Taserface. No,
No, it can't be Taserface. I'm literally reading the chat word for word. So sorry
Sloth.
about that.
They're saying sloth.
Sloth.
Everyone's saying sloth.
Sorry,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, sloth.
Sorry.
Yeah, I think that's he definitely has that look about him. But the Two Face, I can see it, but it's just not. It's only on one half of his face. I love the burned out eye. That's just crazy. And did they write a new storyline for this guy, or is this actually from a canon somewhere?
I don't think it's from a canon anything. But mind you, I never got that deep into the Larry Hama run, but I don't recall it being in Devil's Due, unless it's something in the IDW run that I didn't read, because I only read bits and pieces of the IDW run. I'm not sure, right? Like when I see these, for me, it's Sunbow first, and then a few deep cuts here and there.
Absolutely.
Right.
Looks like he's playing with a Nintendo Wii Switch. Sorry.
Yeah, they said Switch in the chat, so yeah. Oh my goodness, that looks like my son's Nintendo Switch.
That's what I'm saying. It looks like his Switch. It's hilarious. He looks incredible. I'm really glad that we're going to be getting this guy so early in the line. And of course, he's the first one to sell out. Like, this is crazy. I can't believe that.
Wait,
outside.
Snowdrop's not sold out?
No, there's
he's not.
The two Hasbro Pulse exclusives have still not sold out, and Scrap Iron, you can tell that he's one of the must be the most popular at this point. Is the only one to sell out. Oh no, I am incorrect. Looks like Torpedo has sold out as well. Wow, that's crazy.
Oh, and finally, Serpentor sold out.
Yes, Serpentor went up again this afternoon, but he he quickly sold out. Actually,
Okay.
it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I grabbed Torpedo off of E-Collectibles. I only grabbed 2 of them off of Pulse, and then 5 more off of E-Collectibles. And I forgot that the females were a Pulse exclusive. Look at that box art! Like,
Yes,
closed boxes were. I was obviously a lot of people didn't like it, but they've leveled up the way they're doing the artwork on the closed box.
they need to, because the goodwill is starting to wane. A lot of people are getting a little bit upset, and we've just been hearing a ton of reports about swap figures and the like. Although I really do believe that that's very, very minimal. Like
Yeah, this isn't going to help swap figures though. Like this,
yeah,
any closed packaging is not going to help swap figures. Like that's why, to me, you got to get it from a specialty store. If you get it off of a big box, well, I guess big box you can always take it back. Like you can always open it in the car, check and go, and then return it if there's a problem.
yeah.
But,
But I still think it's not as widespread as a lot of people are making it out to be. I still believe that the social media tends to blow things out of proportion, and I really do believe that
it does suck for those who have to deal with it, though. Right?
It does, and if you're an inbox collector, it's even worse, right? Because you just never know.
You don't. That's why you have to get it from a specialty shop, because like if I was to buy it from Hasbro Pulse, you probably, Lord, you better not have an issue if it's Hasbro Pulse direct.
Well, I mean, Mike and even Pixel Dan have actually had figures wrong in their boxes. We've seen that actually direct from Hasbro Pulse. It's a scary time in terms of like that type of unknown factor, right? That's the major issue that a lot of people are facing right now. But I do agree with you, Ken. I think that your chances of getting a better figure from a direct retailer, is probably better than
because a lot of the Canadian retailers I know would either have, I mean, there's a few places they can get it, right? Some will go from Entertainment Earth, and if they get it from Entertainment Earth, it means that it goes from the factory to Entertainment Earth, then to the mom and pop shop. And if it's a mom and pop shop that you trust, like E-Collectibles, then great.
Yep.
Right.
Absolutely. The next figure in the line that we should talk about is Rock and Roll. Holy crap. Honestly, he turned out to be one of my more surprises for me. I mean, like, this guy looks awesome.
He does. Absolutely awesome. I like how he's basically got his version 1 pack out and version 1 look, but he has the tan shirt kind of like his version 2. Like,
I think
it
they
basically
wanted to differentiate him a lot more than the previous release of Breaker.
Yes.
They were basically clones.
No, but I know what this is, right? And I hesitated, but I bought this anyway. They're probably going to give us the one with the fully 1982/83 style shirt. I said it in Toy Habits' chat the other day. How many times have they given us a Starscream in Transformers? And they say, here's the Starscream. And then, oh, by the way, here's a tune accurate Starscream with a cape, a helmet, or a crown, sorry, not a helmet, and a throne, right? How many times have they done that? Right?
Quite a bit. I mean, like they're re-releasing their they've just started sending out all of the repacks, not repacks, what's it called? Reissues of the G1s again. This time in pure plastic form. More what's it called? Studio Series inspired, but I mean,
there you go, right? Well, like look at Studio Series, like Earthrise Ironhide was an Amazon exclusive in the 2-pack with Prowl. Now they do a Studio Series that it's just a little bit, it's like 10% better proportion, 10% more blinging in colors. That's exactly what they're doing here. However, I think if they did the more muted OD military green, I don't think it would stand out as much as this. Like, I think this actually would end up looking a little bit better. And the OD green is just if you're trying to go to the old school 82-83 style.
I tend to agree with you. And this particular character is looking amazing in terms of everything that he comes with. He's got that signature helmet. He's got the full metal jacket. As you said, the tan shirt with the traditional army fatigues. This is just a really cool character in my opinion, and again, a huge surprise with all his tattoos and his overall surfer attitude. Honestly, he's really looking crazy.
They've blended the version 1 and version 2 a little bit. Like, it's leaning more version 1 because of the helmet and everything, because I think version 2 had a hat. But yeah, they've kind of blended version 1 and version 2 a little bit here.
I like the little paint apps that they've added to the helmet. I think that those are really
Mhm.
cool, like the little pouches and the CV.
Honestly, if he'd looked this way in 82 and 83, he might have been even more popular. Like, look at that. Like, this is one where, for whatever reason, the improvements worked. When they
Yeah.
try to improv, people are like, oh, that's not really my guy. This one worked because they blended the 82 and the 89 very well here.
Yeah, and it's not, and you know what? It's a good thing that they've gone to a more realistic gun style again. You know what I mean? Because the nerf style guns were just not working. People were just not buying it, and you know now we see the results, right? Everyone's back on board, and the tattoos are just add a new attitude towards this guy, and I really love it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, look at that box again.
They've totally re for this particular wave. They've gone complete a complete departure from the previous couple
And
of
that's an
waves.
actual figure. Like, again, I don't know if that's a paint master or whether it's the actual production figure. I would imagine it's a paint master, otherwise they wouldn't be shipping 6 months from now. But the face actually, like, hopefully the whole Falcon gate is over.
I'm not
Right.
sure that'll ever really be over, but hopefully.
Oh, they're gonna redo Falcon, and they're gonna find a way to like make him look better.
My real concern is that with the departure of one of the main sculptors from Hasbro,
Corey, yeah,
Corey, that things might again, he had a whole team under him, so hopefully they all have the same attitude. But again, he really cared, and I'm hoping that they'll be able to
yeah,
along that
totally.
line. Bazooka
With the football jersey.
traditional. Well, I mean, he still had the football jersey from before, but this is my Bazooka. This is the Bazooka I grew up with. This is my guy right here. Holy crap! Still beefy, still huge. Still simple, and that's why we love him. He's everything right now. He looks amazing. Wow. You're right though, Ken. The photography has just gone up to 11 here. This is incredible.
Is that a Patriots jersey or which team is that?
It could be. You know what? It could be. It
someone,
could be anything.
we're both up north. We don't have NFL here, so someone in the chat's gonna have to tell us which team that is.
It's inspired. I mean, it could be the Bears. I think.
Yeah, look at the mustache. Yeah, they're saying Tom Selleck in the chat. Oh my goodness! Like, I was tempted by the Tiger Force version. I haven't gotten that one. This one I will definitely. Wait, what am I saying? I already pre-ordered it. Sitting saying, yeah, I'm gonna do it. Well, no, it's already paid for. So, yeah. I mean, look at us fanboying and reacting. This is what a reveal day should feel like.
Absolutely.
You know, like each one that came out was like, yes, 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 yes. Even the deep cuts, the ones who were not like the super mainline characters, you're still like, yeah, but they're doing something with it. It looks cool. They take every chance they can to expand the lore just a little bit.
And that's what it's supposed to be, as you just said, right? This is supposed to wow us and give us those crazy feels that we had when we were kids. I mean, look at that crazy haircut he's got. Really straight line.
Yes,
clean cut. Here he is, just loading up his bazooka, and I love the different shells that he's got. Those things are just crazy. He's got one with a shark's face. He's got one that's like a crash test dummy, as Lenny called it, and then he's got two regular mortars, like completely off wall, and I love it. And you know what? These are all inline. These are all production shots. These are not digital renders, as far as I can tell, because this is definitely not that's not CGI. That's plastic right there.
yes,
You can really tell that. And again, I'm loving the look. Obviously, there's a lot of reuse here, but heck, he looks amazing.
Well, I mean, again, this goes back to my Starscream example. They gave us the Tiger Force first, and then they gave us the regular. Well, I guess I don't have to say Starscream this time. I can just say Outback. We've got an example within the line, and that's how Hasbro's pretty much always done things. They'll give us something, and then they'll make it tune accurate, or they'll make it the version that's the more popular version released later. They kind of sandbag us a little bit. I've come to expect it from the Transformers line. So the fact you're doing it with Joe's, you knew it was coming, right? I mean, they have to reuse their tooling, right? Tooling is the most expensive part of the whole expense. You always hear people say it. Anyone in the toy industry, they always say tooling is expensive. So they'll repaint as much as possible, right?
This is probably the last of the traditional boxes. If you like outside of the plastic packaging.
Mhm.
This, they're keeping the traditional blue on this for the Joes and the traditional red on the Cobra. This illustration style, again, they're really allowing their artists to just like go all out, and it's been a hit and miss for a lot of people.
Mm. It has been, but yeah, this one is a little bit more cartoony. Like I said this on one of my reviews, is that the artist is probably very talented. In fact, the artists are very talented. The direction they sometimes get given to, like, okay, make the proportions like this. That's the part that doesn't resonate with us, right? Nothing wrong with the skill of the artist, but sometimes, if they're given a certain direction that just doesn't work for a lot of hardcore fans, you end up getting some polarizing feedback. But this one's not. This one's not bad overall. We've definitely seen much worse.
No, 100%. And I don't think it's about worse or better. I think what's happening here is that the GI Joe team is actually inviting specific artists with specific styles to do treatments on different characters, and sometimes it's a hit, sometimes it's a miss. But to be honest with you, all of the artwork has been pretty cool.
Yes.
Whether or not it hits the mark for you as a fan, that unfortunately is one of those cases where you become accustomed to a certain style when it started, and now we're moving away from that. But
absolutely,
when you really think about it, every single looking at every single box, every single art style for every single character has been different and unique. So it's actually interesting the way they're deciding to move forward with the line.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very cool in my opinion. Can't wait until we get this guy into the collection. Oh my gosh, it's Shipwreck.
Oh, this was the one I was most excited for because of just how dominant he was as a character in the cartoon.
Dominant is one thing. I think I don't think it's dominant is the word I would use. I think what I would use is he's the most he was the most memorable. He was definitely a memorable character in the cartoon, just from his personality, just from his the fact that he was probably the most relatable. He's a lazy guy, and a lot of people can relate to that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. It's one of the. Well, he got Polly, so thankfully they didn't go and say, "Oh, it's a pet. We're going to put this in the $45 price range."
Yeah, I think that he's just too small to really be justifiable on that.
Yeah,
interesting choice to give him a peg leg, though. I thought that was really, really neat.
Yeah, and some people in the chat are saying they really like the Bazooka art. Actually, like I said, I don't love or hate it. I'm just kind of like, I see the style they're going for, and the other ones like Scrap Iron resonate with me a little bit more. But I'll just leave it at that. Shipwreck, man, so much to say. Just because I know you're right. It wasn't a dominance more so as it was he was just ever present and relatable because he was lazy and a bit of a smart aleck. They said on Geek Dad Life that this has a bit of a Dan Larson face to it.
Yeah, I remember hearing that. I can see it, and now it's hard. And like they said, it's hard to unsee that when you really take a look at it. But you know what? I think that's really great for Dan. He's a huge GI Joe fan, so I'm not sure if he's a huge Shipwreck fan, though. I'm not really sure if that'll come across too well. But it's great to see him here. Obviously, even though he was lazy, he really was loyal, and very much a standout character in so much that he was a womanizer. He really wanted to get together with every girl on the team, but at the end of the day, he would fight for what he believed was right.
Well, there was the two-parter of There's No Place Like Springfield.
So that is a screwed up episode, and anybody who actually experienced that the very first time, that was a complete mind f. I mean, seriously, in a lot of ways, like not just for him, but for kids as well. Like I remember going through that episode and thinking, "What the hell am I watching?" Like it was crazy. What were your thoughts on that episode? In
exactly the same, as well as I can't remember whether I saw the entire. So sometimes when you come home from school, you see part of an episode. So I do remember parts of that episode as a kid, but the one that screwed me up more was Worlds Without End. The two-parter, just because they go to another dimension. Steeler finds his own dead body in another dimension, falls in love with the Baroness. And I remember just being glued to the TV during that two-parter. So
Yeah, you know what, the GI Joe had some crazy episodes, and it's really interesting to think that um, they were able to get away with a lot. Thinking about the type of parental groups that were around during the time. And you know what, it's still in the collections today. They haven't gotten rid of the episodes, so it's really great to be able to go and visit those again. But yeah, Shipwreck for sure, definitely a fan favorite, and so glad that we're getting him in the line. There's some these new speaking about artwork, I think that these new boxes are sort of are actually unifying some of the artwork. See how these
yeah,
two kind of they kind of look almost identical, like the same artist
that
did before.
style looks so
Yeah,
good. Well, just the layout of it
yep,
is so similar. This box style, I like what they're going for. Yeah,
yeah,
scrap iron, right? Look at the way he's posed with
yeah,
the drone. It just looks so good,
yeah. I
right?
think they're starting to unify the brand and really bring it tighter. At least in this particular wave. Maybe they're giving uh, one artist a full wave, and they'll continue to do
Yeah,
it. But you know
yeah.
what?
Well,
I'm actually really cool with these particular designs. I like the black. I like the much darker
and
blue.
he's got a swappable head of hair like Lady J had.
That is interesting. The fact, but you know what? Lenny explained it that if they had actually tried to put the cap on just the hair, it would be this huge, gigantic cap, which would look really dumb. So I'm actually really happy that they decided to go with that.
Yeah, I mean, if it's a beret on a crew cut like Falcon or Flint, it works. So anyway, um, yeah.
Yeah, and then there's this now. Wetsuit is actually sold out. So yeah, guys.
Torpedo.
Sorry, Torpedo. That's right. Yeah, Torpedo actually is sold out. So wow, I did not see that coming.
Neither did I. Like for some reason, I thought a Shipwreck would sell out first, but I think everyone's mileage varies, right? Like there's a very loyal crowd to the 82, 83 Joes, even though they did appear in the Sunbow cartoon. For me, the peak years were kind of like 85, 86, because that's when the Sunbow cartoon was really in full swing, right? And 87 a little bit because they reran the cartoons over and over and over again. Torpedo's kind of an earlier character,
Yeah,
but he looks good. He looks
no,
really good. I could see them reusing the buck for a Cobra Eel,
yeah,
and they probably
absolutely.
will now. They
I think
probably already
so.
have plans.
I think so. I think one of the reasons why he sold out so quickly is I think a lot of people like water-based characters,
Yes.
and he's a brand new sculpt from the ground up. I mean, he's got like the wetsuit itself. It's got lining here. It's got different. He's got a much thinner body than most of the other Joes. Again, he's a diver, and his pack out is just. Is he a deluxe? Because he looks like he could definitely be
I
a
didn't
deluxe.
pay the deluxe price, so no.
The
uh,
photography, as you said, is just
oh,
on another level right now.
I
I mean, look,
know.
like
I
I don't
know.
know if that's gelatin, I don't know if that's water, but it looks amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, did they make it look as real as possible now?
It's just really crazy. I love the idea, much like Solid Snake in the video games, how he basically just has to leave his gear and then go on foot, and again, very much a stealth kind of operative, and I love the what's called the depth gauge on his arm, his actual knife on his leg. Uh, this pack out looks really really cool, and I'm hoping. And that's but I think this really sold a lot of people. This looks like he's underwater for crying out loud. Holy crap!
Yeah. I mean, truth be told, you're probably looking up at the sky. He's probably actually flying, and then they added the ripple effect at the top. Is probably what they did.
It
But
is just ridiculous. But
I'm just
whatever they
guessing.
did,
I'm just guessing.
no, I think you're right, and it looks amazing. Seriously though, look at these. Like, wow, these I know that you can buy these for an aquarium. I know that for a fact. So what they've done here is just incredible. I don't know if they actually dunked them in water, but it just looks incredible.
Mm. Oh, 100%. And the lighting and everything.
Yeah,
Oh,
just
man.
beautiful. My hat's tipped off to these guys for sure. Here he is with all of his gear
Mm.
attached.
He is very skinny, though. He is very skinny. But
Yeah,
mind you,
yeah.
so was the original 83 figure.
But
So
that's what I
anyway.
love about this, right? He's a brand new figure from the ground up. He's a very thin frame, and he's got that aqualung thing going on. He literally looks
Yes.
like a frogman. Great stuff in terms of the overall design. Those flippers are just massive, honestly,
Oh,
and
they're
and
probably going to reuse him for wetsuit as well. I bet you anything.
100%. And the harpoon, incredible, just great.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
really can't wait until maybe. And you know what? I do actually believe because he was such a unique character and the sculpt. I think as soon as people saw the full pack out, they were like, I gotta have this guy. Is he a deluxe? I'm not really sure.
No, he's just a regular. Look at the size of the box.
That's crazy.
Right. And gosh, I paid the $36.99 Canadian or whatever the exchange comes out to, which is the same as all the other ones. So that's basically $25 US, right?
Happily on this guy for sure, 100%. And you know what? You're probably gonna have to go to Big Bad Toy Store now because he is completely sold out on HasbroPulse.com.
I think Entertainment Earth may have them as well, and GDL does have their own discount code as well for that. So I think that there's another option for that.
Yeah, so do I, and it's also actually in this in the description.
Section perfect. Okay.
Yeah. So
cool. How famous you got to be to get your own discount code, or do I just need friends in higher places?
No,
that's what I said to Jay as well.
No, I'll connect you. I'll put the word in for you, and you.
Really?
And you can probably
I was just joking.
and eagle-eyed viewers can actually see this comes from a very specific episode in the series.
I'm drawing a blank as to which one.
The eels.
But it probably in the early episodes.
Yes.
Either the Pyramid of Darkness one or Revenge of Cobra. Anyway. Yeah, maybe Mass Device? Anyway.
I think it was the Mass Device. I think that's the one. That was specific to that particular oh shoot, I forgot. Yeah, no, I'm really excited about this particular pack out and the artwork. Again, I think they are unifying, at least for this wave. I mean, look at that. It's a really cool piece of artwork, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Even the platform that he's standing on, like everything.
Do you think? Again, he's got these slipper feet, so it doesn't really affect him that much, but. Do you think they should start including stands for the characters, much the way they did with some of the vintage with the retro collection?
I'd like them to. I mean, most of my figures stand fine without stands, but having the option would be nice.
The retro collection is now coming with them, though. I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, if you look at what's the name here, Destro, that's a figure stand right there.
Yeah, it'd be nice, but I mean, yeah, it'd be nice. You know, I'm just gonna say yes. Yes, they should come with stands.
But like having said that, it's just something else.
Kind of a no-brainer. I don't know why I'm thinking about it so much. It's like, you want more? Ken's got to think about it. No, just give us more.
Yeah, guys. Actually, I should have mentioned that at the beginning. All of the if you are interested in picking these up at Entertainment Earth, definitely there are links in the description section below. You might have to hit refresh though because I just added them. I totally forgot about that. But yeah, he is sold out. So if you want to pick him up, definitely head over to Entertainment Earth. Use the affiliate code I have at the bottom, and I believe it is 10%. I have to double check with the actual program. Copperhead. Oh, man, this guy brings back all those memories that we were talking about before.
Looks so good.
Oh my goodness. And he really does look like he jumped out of the television screen in a lot of ways.
100%, yeah.
Did you know what the problem is? Sorry, I'm tripping over myself here. What should is it so bad that he didn't come with a vehicle?
Well, they've already started the trend with CoverGirl and no Wolverine, right? So they probably looked at the vehicles they were thinking about doing, and then said, "Well, we don't have the bandwidth or the ability to do all the vehicles. What ones do we not want to do? Like, what ones do we want to prioritize? And if it's anything more than X number of vehicles, we'll just release the drivers on their own." With this particular character, I get it because they're going to give us the Python Patrol version later, right?
Yeah.
And this is a situation where they went with the main line first and then the Python Patrol later, assuming they get to the Python Patrol. So the Water Moccasin, while it would be nice, I think they know that with Star Wars Black Series, vehicles were really hit or miss. And in fact, a lot of them just did not sell and had to go to clearance. You know, obviously the His Tank was Hasbro Pulse exclusive. So anything bigger than like a motorcycle, than a Ram, they're probably a little hesitant to do, right? So they
But
probably aren't thinking too deep down the vehicle pipeline. But I know a lot of 1/18th scale purists will be very clear that without the vehicle, you're going to be missing some level of world building. You're going to be limited on army building choices. You're only going to get a part of the experience, and that you're kind of just enjoying the Joes as if they were Marvel Legends figures. And I understand that argument, and that argument holds up when you don't have a water moccasin. Having said that, did I pre-order this figure? Hell yeah, I did.
Yeah, of course. But when you think about it, right? They took a deep dive with the Fortnite boat, and a lot of people were like saying if they can do that Fortnite boat, they can definitely do a water moccasin or something along this the size of those vehicles, right? At retail. And here the thing about GI Joe though is one of the biggest things about the line is that they really did deep dive into vehicles. You got some classics like the Havoc, the Mauler, right? The Snow Job's snowmobile, right? These are things which I think a lot of people are
Polar Battle Bear, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like these are things people are expecting, and it's interesting that I know they're taking a more of a safe stance on this, and of course with today's with the economy the way it's going right now, it's really up in the air what people are willing to spend. But I guess we'll find out if they do decide to do. I think the Trouble Bubble and I think the Trouble Bubble will definitely be the what's called the litmus test to see exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah, but they're doing that probably the same way that they're doing Breaker in the Ram or a character with an animal. They're probably going to do it that way, right? Because the Trouble Bubble is one of those you can disassemble it easily. Man, look at that box. So
I know.
good.
Look at that box art.
So good.
Just insane. I really do. I've always loved his design because, again, it's very much a snake inspired design, with the helmet and the inner thighs, right? It's crazy. And honestly, he's definitely one of those characters which is a must have in the line. So yeah, very, very excited to see Copperhead coming into his own. As we said earlier today, Serpentor did sell out at $79.99. Unfortunately, guys, if you missed it, that's but you know what? They keep bringing him back every so often. He'll come back and out and in and out. They should have just made him a mainline character and be done with it. In my opinion,
they probably will and do it without the air chariot. Like they'll probably he's a big enough figure with enough accessories. They may do him as a deluxe, so they may throw him up for 35.
I totally agree. But it's one of these things where they did mention that the air chariot would never be released in this iteration again. That doesn't mean that he won't have like a Python Patrol version, you know what I mean, or something in that type of style, right, where they recolor it a little bit and re-release it as a separate figure. It's a little, in my opinion, though, it's kind of disingenuous. But what can you do, right?
100%. But they got to give people a better chance at him. I think they'll just do him as a regular figure without the air chariot next. Personally.
I sure hope so. But again, the way corporate sometimes thinks is not the way we would like to think.
What'll happen is they'll release him in a regular release, and then somebody like Gridiron Studios will go and make like an air chariot of a different design or something like that. That's because they've already done a jump. Like I know I mentioned Gridiron a few times in this stream now. I'm not shilling for them, even though I've had Mark from Gridiron on my channel once, but they've already done a jump, so they could do a smaller air chariot or something. Anyway, carry on.
No, I again, we're not. The word shill. I'm gonna put this out there again. The word shill gets tossed around too much, and people don't. And you know what? People aren't even using it right. I think that's really the biggest problem with the word shill. If you're like, if people are in favor of something, it's okay to like something. Just because you talk about it on your show doesn't mean that you're a shill, right? If you're being, if you're influencing people and trying to push them to actually buy it, that's what being a shill is. None of us are actually pushing anybody to do it. We're just reviewing what the figures are. That doesn't mean that we're shills.
100%.
So you know what? People just gotta chill with the word shill.
Chill.
So there you go. GI Joe Classified Snow Job 67. Holy crap! This is amazing. I remember what Lenny said about this guy. He's got that look of a Midwestern dad after he shoveled the snow the driveway in the snow. Actually, I can totally see that. He looks pretty grumpy right now. It's amazing. As a Canadian, I think both of us can really relate to this guy. What do you think, Ken?
Oh gosh. This is one of the anticipated ones, right? Again, 1983, early in the line, early in the cartoon, comes with a set of skis, teases us with snow bats in the background. What's not to like about this release? Yeah, sure, I like it to be $10 cheaper, but they're packing in a bunch of stuff with them to try to make it a deluxe. They've already set the trend. Just hope it doesn't go any higher in price. He's got a swappable head. Or is it a swappable head, or is it or is it a hood over?
Toupee.
I was gonna say it might be a swap. Yeah, basically. Oh, and the photography that goes with it is really helping to sell the figures.
And you know what? That's especially particular with this guy. He is a deluxe figure, like in the truest sense of the word. I mean, look at this pack out. It's ridiculous. He's got his ski poles. He's got his skis. He's got the sniper rifle. He's got the backpack, the snowshoes, the sidearms. I mean, this guy is armed to the freaking teeth. I mean, this guy has so much going for him. It's hard to tell where he begins and where he ends.
Yeah, it looks like most, if not all, the accessories fit on him in some way. I mean, I'm not sure if the spare head or spare toupee can be stored somewhere, but I tend to like it when they can carry all their accessories and I don't have to zip little baggies up and put them aside. Although I'm kind of used to that now. It's kind of par for the course now, but it's nice when you're able to store everything just on the figure itself.
This is classic Snow Job right here. This is the way I've always remembered Snow Job, with his Oakley glasses and just going downhill, just crazy.
Oh yeah, 100%. Whew. Look at that.
There he is trekking through the wilderness, and again, he's they really have taken their photography to the next level. Ken,
he's dashing through the snow, literally.
I love the fact that the hood could be on, the hood could be off, like so many different looks for Snow Job. Looks like he's completely lost it and just ditched all of his gear. Holy crap! That's just one heck of a scene right there.
Yeah. He hit a tree or something and said, "See you later."
look, and as you mentioned, you literally can pack everything onto his gear back. I mean, this is nuts. He's got everything like packed up and ready to go. He just basically ditched it all.
That's what I'm saying. That's totally what I'm saying.
Yeah, he looks great. I mean, I think I was surprised he didn't sell out first, honestly.
Yeah, given that it was a Pulse exclusive. Right, that's the reason I jumped right on Pulse today. Like, I got up from what I was doing and just went to Pulse, and I'm like, I'm gonna make this pre-order first, and then I'm gonna get back to my day. Oof! Wow! Look at us just fanboying, fanboying over every release.
Absolutely, he definitely has that James Bond, kind of Arctic feel.
Yes.
With the sniper rifle and the skis as well. That pack out is ridiculous. I mean, look at everything he comes with. That is a lot of stuff.
Big time. I mean, look, Snow Job at the end of the day was a lot of people's first Arctic Joe, right? I mean, yeah, some of us got into the line a bit later, and it was kind of him and Iceberg simultaneously, but Snow Job came first into the line. So for a lot of people, that's going to be the first character they think of, right? In fact, for me, I think as a kid, I even bought Blizzard before I bought any of the other Arctic Joes, and that was my Arctic Joe. But that's just my own mileage. That's just my own individual, not even preference, just what I was exposed to.
You know what? The funny thing about Snow Job, especially up here in Canada, is he's one of the very first Joes that many Canadian kids lost because he was brought into the snow during the playground and subsequently lost very, very quickly after you couldn't find him in the snow. It was just a sad state of affairs at that level.
Yeah, I know. And a lot of the ones that did make it to adulthood ended up yellowing pretty easily just because of the just because he's so bright white. Right. So
absolutely.
Yeah. So you can see that the box is a little bit wider.
No, 100%. This is definitely this is 100% a deluxe figure. Again, I think they're unifying the art style right now. It's looking pretty damn cool with this particular pack out.
Oh, man.
And is that foreshadowing like they do in Mattel? Could this possibly be a vehicle for the future, Ken? What do you think?
What vehicle are we looking at?
It looks like a modified Mauler. It looks like it's a snow crawler for sure.
Wow. Wow.
I want to
Not
thank
sure what to tell you.
Original Toy Hunter for the $2 New Zealand super chat. Thank you, my friend. Really appreciate that.
Thanks, Eldor.
Yeah. This is looking great. I can't wait until we get this guy into the collection. Holy crap! What a pack out, though. Just freaking incredible. Looks like he does come with at least one swappable head. The other one has different looks.
Oh, he's going to be 6 point. Oh, with the hood up, he's 6.5 inches tall. Got it. Okay, yeah.
Looking so great.
I was going to say because Super 7 stuff is 7-inch, right? So.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then we have a surprise. This was actually, as you said, a bit of a surprise. Not so much in the announcement, but moreover the pack out and how they executed this one. Yeah, female troopers. Now, female troopers are nothing new. They have been, I mean, not in the toy version, but they have been in the cartoon multiple times. But I think this is definitely one of those few times we've seen an actual toy of female troopers, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. I mean, I know that they released a female HISS driver, or HISS, not a tactician, a HISS gunner. So I think, did they say this was all new tooling, or are they using the same buck as the female HISS gunner? I'm not 100% sure, but this is, I missed out on this. Like, I know it's a Pulse exclusive now. When it went up, I was like, okay, I'll grab this off the Canadian site, and I'm like, oh, there's nothing on the Canadian site, and I don't know if there's a way to go back and edit my order before it ships to add this to the order without paying for shipping again. So this might be a.
You just have to call them.
Oh, I have to call.
You call them, let them call them, tell them what your situation is, and what they'll do is they'll cancel the order outright and put everything back together. But you have to do it before it sells out.
Did I say piss driver earlier, not HISS driver? Monkey Jeebus is saying, like, I'm
not gonna confirm or deny what you just said.
Oh goodness, yeah. Honestly, my phone died, and that's my phone died. If you heard a little bit of a buzz. I'm pissed right now because I ran out of battery very quickly. So I can't normally like look up stuff on the side like I normally do when I'm trying to flub for information. I'm like, let me just confirm that before I say it. So while doing that, I ended up saying piss driver.
Oh, it's late. It is late.
It must be late. It's later where you are.
In British Columbia, it is late.
Late-ish, yeah.
In Ontario, it's even later. I love the fact that they come with multiple looks. They have a slightly they have a tan version. They have a very light skin version. They have a what's it called, a gas mask version with a full facial mask. This has a lot of potential army building in mind, and I think it's going to be great for collectors.
100%. People are liking the females at the moment, right? Like it's something you don't see every single day. You mentioned Valiverse earlier. They're doing female troop builders. This is very much along the same lines. Obviously, a different buck style, different construction of the figure. But look, you got two different color schemes, right? When people buy these, I mean, somebody in the chat said they bought 3 sets, so they're going to end up with 6 females. Wow.
Yeah, but you know what? Again, multiple different styles. You can again. I like the fact that they're actually creating multiple releases, because then it makes it a lot easier to build out your armies. Now, the cost on these isn't exactly cheap. I believe this is a $55 figure, the $55 set.
Yeah. I was gonna say for 2, it's not bad, but then again, 55 over 2 is $27.50. So it's a little more than buying a single figure for $25, but it's close.
Shout out to Chaz the Guru. Awesome memes for GI Joe and Marvel related figures. So good to see you, Chaz. Thanks for being here tonight. Amazing. This has to be the best GI Joe stream yet. Non-stop GI Joe goodness. I appreciate it. We appreciate that, Chaz. Definitely a lot of fun tonight. And of course, I wouldn't have it any other way. Sharing the screen with Toy Kennections. It's just amazing for.
Yeah, no. Thanks for always doing the invite. You know, I like it when you're the one that's driving the screen. Maybe because then I just have to react. I don't have to pull up the images. Either that, or you're just more used to it than I am. So
Yeah, I get it. It's a lot. It's always a lot easier when somebody's actually making the content, and all you got to do is say, "Hey, that looks cool," and But of course, I value your opinion, Ken, because you are the GI Joe expert in this part of the
as long as I don't misspeak lines and say things I don't mean. I've done it a few times where I say something and someone in the chat will be like, "Did Ken just say this?" Or "Did Ken just?" I'm like, "Oh goodness, how did it actually sound?" Because it sounded one way in my head, then came out. And I'm like, I'm not a hater of anything really, like in terms of toys, right?
Absolutely. Yeah,
Well,
but
maybe I kind of hate Funko Pops, but now is not a good time to harp on them, given that they just got rid of, was it $30 million worth of Funko Pops or whatever that was, just went to a landfill,
yeah, that's
something
weird.
like that. So
That
now
is
is not the good. Now is not the right time to hate on them.
Yeah, it's really crazy. Bob Wave, what is Hey Jay, what's the code for the itself for EE? All the codes are linked in the description section. Just hit refresh if you don't see them, and they should come up. I just posted them there. So yeah, guys, we would really appreciate it if everyone checked out those. If you're interested in picking them up on Entertainment Earth, at Entertainment Earth, you don't, much like Big Bad Toy Store and Hasbro Pulse, you don't pay until it ships. So it's a great system, and free shipping with the code free ship 65 or something like that, as long as you spend up to $65 on the site. Which, when you think about it, that's actually much better than Hasbro Pulse if you're not a Hasbro Pulse member. But that's another story entirely. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to all of these figures in the line. I mean, just look at these. We talked about how somebody in the chat just
Ooh.
picked up 2 sets. That is a lot of female figures right there. Wow,
And that scene right there just looks epic,
it does.
right?
And the blast effects that they come with, just honestly, this is really something else to be excited for. And again, multiple looks, different the pack outs, the blast effects, the weapons, just crazy. What are your thoughts about the golden accessories?
Well, it creates a little bit of contrast, right? So when I see it, I naturally think more towards the standard colors rather than the gold accessories. But when you put them together side by side, it creates that contrast that just looks good for reasons of photography, right? I don't know if one is supposed to be a different function. Maybe I got to look at the weapons more closely and see which one has, if one has a different battle function from the other. But they look good when paired up. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, the traditional black is obviously the ones that most people will default to, and again, the packouts look really great on this particular set. Again, $55 for the set, a little pricey for some people, but honestly, I think in terms of overall value, it's pretty much worth it.
Yeah, I struggle with it because it's a 2-pack. You're saving on packaging. It should be $49.99, but I don't. Am I splitting hairs at that point? I don't know.
No, you're not, and it's not that it's not. I don't disagree with you. I don't. But these 2 females are all brand new tooling. I mean,
Are they okay?
yeah,
I think they said that in the stream, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah, I mean, I can. That's not that justifies everything, but we do have to look at these things as a grain of salt. The fact that they are a Hasbro Pulse exclusive, at least you can hopefully guarantee, as we said earlier, that you're not going to get too many swaps on this. Maybe you will get 2 of the same head, which you can call up Hasbro and saying, "Hey, you got to fix this." But yeah, that's going to be interesting.
And when you do, they might not send you the right thing, right? Because didn't Pixel Dan have an issue where he got the wrong character from Dungeons and Dragons, and
Yep,
then he sent it back? You're like, sorry, we'll send you a replacement, and then they sent him the wrong character again, or something like that,
Yeah,
or another wrong character. So yeah, I'm not a big Dungeons and Dragons person, other than the role playing game, but you know where I'm going with this. Pixel Dan put it up on Twitter.
If it can happen to Pixel Dan, it can happen to anybody, basically.
Yes.
And you know what? Minded Body has mentioned, is that a Cobra Temple in the back? Actually, I think it is.
Ooh.
So yeah, is there some foreshadowing that could be happening in the storytelling for these particular figures? I think time will tell. So yeah, let's recap this a little bit, Ken, because there's a lot to go over here. Let's talk about added value. For $49.99, scrap iron.
Oh, added value?
Yay or nay for
Sorry, because you said $49.99, and I'm like, Did you add extra value to $44.99?
Sorry, 44.
Sorry, I wasn't trying to correct you there. I just wasn't sure
Correct me,
if you were like, if it was $5 more, would you pay for it?
Correct me.
I'm like, wow.
It's 3 a.m. here.
I know. Oh, I totally get it. I mean, I'm never going to encourage big box companies to charge more, right? But given that this is $67.99 in US dollars, which is on par with what we paid for the Alpha Commandos, Snake Eyes, and Timber. It's on par with what we're paying for Fiona and Crocmaster. So I'm getting this. I feel it's worth the value, but at the same time, I don't want to speak it too loudly because, if enough people just go with it, Hasbro's going to be like, okay, well, next year we'll just raise it by $2 more, then 2 more after that. So, but yes, long story short, I bought this at this value. So I guess I clearly thought it was worth it.
My personal opinion is it is worth it. I mean, it's a brand new drone, brand new tooling. The blast effects in the pack out are just ridiculous. It's freaking Johnny 5, man. It's freaking Johnny 5. I mean, where are you going to get that? These are the first blast effects I felt look like real blast effects. Like they're not just, they really do fit the characters ever so well.
Yeah, they're not just tabbed on for the sake of showing a blast effect. Like they actually,
exactly. And the main blast effect for the actual 2 Sidewinder missiles, they can actually be used for Bazooka, which looks amazing. And that to me is just completely par for the course, and I really love it. Rock and roll, yay or nay?
Yay.
Added value. Yeah, I think so too. I agree. I mean, he just looks so great.
Yeah, full stop.
Yeah, I mean, as you said earlier, they've taken a character and just did something even extra, right? I think that's really the point to be made here.
Yeah, so I was trying to find the version 2 on my shelf here, but just to compare exactly what they managed to mishmash.
I'm perfectly happy with this. I mean, he doesn't come with a ton of stuff, but it comes with enough that $24.99 doesn't seem like a stretch.
Yeah, not in this case for sure.
Okay, this is probably a foregone conclusion, but Bazooka, yay or nay?
Absolutely yay. Absolutely. Oh gosh.
Somebody in the chat said that this was an early 90s or 80s Patriots jersey.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
I mean, he's just such a fan favorite, and he looks so classic here. Everything he comes with is just not so much added value, but it's everything you'd want with Bazooka, I think.
Oh yeah, 100%. You got the shells, you got the backpack, you got the Bazooka itself, you got a removable helmet. Goodness, I still remember when I finally purchased a vintage one back in the 2000s because I wanted one as a kid, never had one, and just how happy I was to get him. And now to get one again in classified, it's just scratching that itch for me. Like this classified is it's been blowing up. Like there's no stopping it at this point in time. Yep. And I find that, I don't know about you, but I find there's more talk about classified than there is about the other toy lines right now. Is it the circles I hang out with? Or is it because there's this surge we haven't been feeling in GI Joe? Whereas with Transformers, it's kind of old glory. It's always there. Marvel, since the cinematic universe and even a little bit in the Toy Biz era before that, it's always been there. GI Joe is that brand that we almost lost for a number of years because it just wasn't doing anything. So maybe that's why I feel like all of a sudden there's so much more talk about it.
Again, it's all in our own perceptions, and as you said, depending on what you're talking with your friends at the time or who you're hanging out with at the time, things can be a little bit different. Then all of a sudden you come into a different conversation. There they are, right? So right. Yeah, 100%. I totally agree. Tia Fanpage is in the house. What's going on?
Yeah.
Is he still here? Because that was quite a while ago.
He's still here.
All right, good to see him, Brian. Everybody is talking, which is great. Let's see.
A lot of interaction. I always love the community that we've got on this network of channels. I almost said the community that you've got, but there's a lot of cross pollination. Cross viewership.
Yeah, it's our community, Ken. This is everyone's community. There's no me.
Right. You got Radical Toys in there, who's in a chat group with us.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Right.
Shipwreck, yay or nay?
Absolutely yay.
Absolutely. I mean, like,
Yeah.
seriously, he's just such a fan
Hey,
favorite.
you're getting Paulie as well.
Yeah.
And I see a little bit of Dan Larson.
we can't not have Dan Larson. That's for sure. 100%.
I wonder if that's on purpose. They're like, yeah, this looks like the Toy Galaxy guy. You know what? Let's do it. Mattel has their Dan. Let's try to get this Dan.
Just too funny. Yeah, Mind Body says Bazooka is a yay. Brian Stedler says a double yay, 100%. Chaz says all this momentum with GI Joe Classified, even with no media to support it. So that tells me this line is super, super strong. Absolutely, Chaz.
It's about time for the Netflix cartoon, though. Transformers had it. Masters of the Universe had it. It's time. You know?
Yeah, but they're not going to spend, like, why would you spend money on something when you don't have to? I totally see where Chaz is going, but I would love to see a cartoon, a brand new one, 100%. Derek Kuto says, are you guys going to collect the Super 7 GI Joe? I'm going to have my first review on that when they arrive from Entertainment Earth. We shall see. Because so far, the pics that I've seen, very Sunbow. What are your thoughts on that, Ken?
I'm tempted. I haven't jumped in. I don't know whether I said it with you on camera or somebody else, but I will say that when it comes to Super 7, the time between the waves is relatively slow. In fact, it's very slow. And I kind of feel it with G.I. Joe. It's an ensemble cast type of feel. It's not the kind of line where you can go Lion-O, Mum-Ra, done, right? Or Lion-O and the core cast of Lions, you know, which we're just getting Wily Kit now and no Wily Cat yet. Snarf is still just about to come out in a few months. How long it takes just to get that smaller cast. Even like Transformers, you can go Optimus, Megatron, done. There isn't really that small core cast in G.I. Joe. Yeah, you can go Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow, but then you're only capturing the ninja feel of it, right? So for me, with Super 7 G.I. Joe, I haven't jumped in because I know that it's going to be a long wait between waves. And then by the time they really hit the ground running, is Brian Flynn going to lose the license at that point in time? Right?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. However, you know, having said that, I don't think it's about losing the license in this case. I think it's about will he renew the license? Because you know,
fair.
with Thundercats, you know, it's just kept going and going and going and going. But that's because people keep buying and buying and buying and buying. And I think that really is the secondary situation with GI Joe, because this is literally direct competition with the current mainline. And are there enough Sunbow fans out there to actually justify
it isn't in that back when during the Toy Biz era and even during the early Hasbro era of Marvel Legends, there was Diamond Select, Marvel Select, right? So it's kind of that two different form factors going on where you've got like that 6-inch line super articulated and you got the 7-inch line that's like a little 7-inch line that's a little bit less articulated. Having said that, I'm a big G.I. Joe fan, and all it's going to take is for somebody to sell their used Duke or used Snake Eyes or something at a toy show or Cobra Commander or the Bat. And I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to be like, Jay, on March 8th, 2023 or March 9th, where you are right now, I said this and I went back on my word. We all know it's the bane of our existence as a toy collector, right? And Derek agrees with me in the chat right there.
Absolutely.
Facts can and a small fortune. I'm not sure if he means small fortune in terms of how much it would, you know, whether that relates to Brian Flynn.
How much it would cost you? Yeah. No,
yes, how much it would cost. Yeah, like so, not just what I said. Like that's right. I didn't even touch on the price. I just said the release time and trying to build the ensemble cast. But maybe you don't need the ensemble cast. Maybe that's just me being hyper detail oriented and just wanting the option to world build, whether I do or don't.
Brian's got you there.
Oh yeah, I see Brian next month at the Victoria Fair. Yes, Brian, you may have to watch my booth while I go hunt for a bit. You and my buddy Peter can watch my booth while I go hunt.
Chaz says Star Wars collectors are sick of rising prices, minimal accessories, and too many repaints, which is why this particular line with G.I. Joe seems to be resonating with a lot of people, in my opinion. Thank you, Chaz. That's a very, very good point. Toy Bounty Hunter says very Sunbow. That's good. That's what they're going for. Yep. And you know what? It really depends on if they can keep it up and actually keep it on schedule, because I think that's really been
my G.I. Joe first to me is a Sunbow cartoon, which is why the Super 7 line is so tempting. Now, is Classified coming close enough to to filling that void while still looking like the toys of our youth and still capturing the essence of the character, absolutely.
Yep.
Right. But I will always think Sunbow first. Sunbow first. Like I said, that's why it's hard to say no to the Super 7 line. So it's a no for now.
I hear you. But as you said, that could change at any moment once you find a good deal. All right. So this is almost a foregone conclusion now. Torpedo, yay or nay?
Yay.
Yeah. He's just, oh my God, he's just so great. He looks absolutely incredible. Brand new tooling from the ground up. Love the pack out. Just an amazing character overall. Yeah, he's definitely on my list, and you've already pre-ordered him. So, dang, he actually sold out very, very quick. So, guys, definitely head over to check out the link in the description below for the Entertainment Earth affiliate link. I would really appreciate it, guys, and of course, you don't want to miss out on Torpedo. He's going fast. Copperhead, yay or nay?
Yay.
Absolutely. I mean, he just looks so good.
Mm-hmm.
This, you know what? Somebody said in the chat, there hasn't been a flub here yet, and honestly, I think I have to agree. So far, it's just been banger after banger after banger. It's absolutely crazy.
Oh yeah.
Snow Job, $34.99. Yay or nay?
I mean, I pre-ordered them. Did I default?
Answering the question.
Did I default, or that doesn't answer the question? That just means you pre-ordered even if you felt it was a nay because you couldn't get out of your own way.
That's a completionist mentality.
It is a yay for me. It is a yay for me. It's just that there was a time in our lives where they didn't make something like this a deluxe. I mean, but I know the current landscape and climate we're in, and taking all things into consideration, yay. It's a yay. But you see how I hesitated? The first two I ordered today were Snow Drop and Scrap Iron, and they're the two I hesitated on before I said yay. Like I talked myself into the yay rather than just saying yay.
Yeah.
So.
For me, it's a yay. It's a yay in so much that he's a classic character. I mean, he looks amazing. What they've done with the character in terms of its overall look and appearance, I mean, they've given him such a unique, idea and identity. You can put him with glasses. You can not put him with glasses. You can put him with a hood down. You can put him with a hood up, right? You can put him with a parka. You know what I mean? A full on ski mask.
Yeah,
he's got everything, all the earmarks of a classic. The price is scaring me. And I think that would be the only barrier to entry if I really went, thought about things like that. But as it is right now, no, I have to have it.
Well, and the thing is, like, I could have said the same thing on Sergeant Slaughter, who came with less, accessories, but it was Sarge, and because of our friend Sergeant Slaughter Slaughterhouse channel, I've had the pleasure to stream with Sarge a few times. I tweeted something recently, and I tagged him, and Sarge retweeted it. So. For me, when it comes to Sarge, I just buy it because, I'm friends with his daughter, friends with his biggest fan, talked to him for several hours online multiple times. It was, for Sarge, I just did it because it was Sarge. I didn't even stop to think about the value added. To me, I just had to have it, right?
Yeah.
So.
Pavement Carver says is actually brings up a very good point. It's a blessing in disguise to not have a movie or show out right now. 100% of their budget will go to the nostalgia fan base. They stumbled early on, but right now they're on the right path. Let's stay on it. Just for some clarification there, Pavement Carver, it really doesn't have any factor whether or not the budgets are the budgets. The movie division of Hasbro is specific to that. Their media division is very, very specific. They've created an entire department for that, so they have their own budget specifically for that. It does not cut into their toy budget at all. Having said that, though, I would on your train of thought, I'm exactly with you. Don't spend any money on the movie if you don't need to. I totally agree with that. Would I like to find out more about these characters and more about their backgrounds and why they look the way they do and who they are as characters in a show? Absolutely, I would love a Netflix show.
Yeah, so I'll add to that briefly, right? And if you were to say that the Sunbow GI Joe cartoon was equivalent to the Filmation He-Man, and maybe it's not, because I think the Sunbow show had more deep storylines like Worlds Without End and no place like Springfield. Masters of the Universe had the Mike Young Productions cartoon, right? If GI Joe had that equivalent, it would just give the fans something to latch onto. And we got some semblance of that with the 2008 GI Joe Resolute web series. We got some semblance of that, and it showed us what we could get with GI Joe. So I would love to see a cartoon. I just don't want them to flub it and mess it up, because Masters of the Universe Revelation was very polarizing, right? Like, a lot of people didn't like the first 5 episodes. I liked aspects of it, but I didn't go back to rewatch it. The second half, I really, really liked. So I'm just hoping that we get something similar for GI Joe. That's all I have to say on that front.
And and again, I totally agree with you. I would love to have a show, but if the toys are this good and they're just supported by people's fandom, I think we're okay so far. But you know what? Again, I'm totally on board. If we get a show, awesome, just freaking awesome. Brian says, "Oh, watch the booth." I can't promise I'll stay there.
He might. I know him. He'll like swipe a Masterpiece Transformer. He'll come see me elsewhere in the show. He'll be like, "Hey, Ken, look what I got." I'm like, "That's my handwriting on the bag, Brian." Oh, man. He bought a Masterpiece Soundwave off me a couple of years back, and I got another one coming to the show. So,
oh my god, that's crazy. Mind and Body says 100% on Torpedo. Absolutely,
yeah, good choice, Mind and Body.
Monkey Jeebus, Star Wars and Marvel charge for their licenses.
Actually, that is a good point, and that's something that, while we all know, it's easy to forget in the middle of a conversation. That is true, though, right?
I hear it. Mind and Body says that Snow Job is nay. Like, it's not for everybody. That much is probably true. Brian's got to go. All right, Brian, take it easy, brother. We'll see. Ken, we'll see you soon.
I'll see you in a month. Literally, like, I'm taking the ferry over there in a month. Can't wait to see you, bud.
Mind and Body says it's dope, but the price point is what Scrap Iron should have been. That's
interesting. You know what? If I'm going to the island, I know I won't have time, but it'd be great to do a TKO in person with just me and Brian that weekend. Sure. It'd be great, but I know I won't be able to because that weekend's going to be too packed, right?
Yeah, you never know. Give it some time. You never know. Monkey Jeebus, I'm not a GI Joe classified completionist. Well, you don't have to be. I mean, some people just have to have everything. But anyway,
actually, I haven't bought the sub teams. I haven't bought the sub teams, you can believe.
All right, there you go. TW, I wasn't going to buy vintage GI Joes anymore, but I was at Toy Fair recently and found a couple of vintage Rattlers for a good price. Holy crap! One of the vehicles I always wanted, never had, but now I do. That you can't pass up a Rattler, man. A Rattler is a really, really good toy. Radical Toys. These are all nice, but there's 2 I really will buy. There you go. There you go, Adam. Actually, Ken's right. Which 2?
Oh, he mentioned it later.
Yeah, Torpedo and Shipwreck are must-buys. There you go. Absolutely. Recoverall, put a Snow Job in the Thunder Tank. Yes, he will fit in.
And throw Panthro in, throw Panthro on the eventual, what do you call, Polar Battle Bear.
Yeah, 100%. Monkey Jeebus, if Sergeant Slaughter killed Nemesis Enforcer, then Brock Lesnar would murder Serpentar. Ooh.
F5.
Ooh.
Boom.
We need Nemesis Enforcer though, and we need him with that name because there was a rights issue once upon a time.
Yeah, didn't they go Nemesis Immortal a while ago?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I think it was Nemesis Immortal, and I remember getting it in the 25th anniversary line and saying, "Why did they change his name?" I mean, to me, it's not a bad name, but to me, he'll always be Nemesis Enforcer.
Nemesis Enforcer is just
It's like all the Transformer name changes. Wasn't Hot Rod Rodimus Major for a few years? Literally, they called Hot Rod Rodimus Major.
That's just stupid,
right? Or Silver Streak, right? Instead of Blue Streak.
I know. Radical Toys. I'm a fan of underwater characters and stuff like Hasbro bringing the Cobra Eel and Wetsuit. Please, the Cobra Eels would be nice, as we mentioned that a little bit earlier in the stream. Nolan, I wonder if we'll get Sergeant Savage and his Screaming Eagles. Oh,
that's very deep cut though.
Yeah,
right. Because the thing about Kamakura and Shadow Tracker is that in the comics, in some way, shape, or form, they mixed in with the real American hero characters. Where I think Sergeant Savage was very much his own thing. So I would honestly rather see like the Adventure Team Commander from the original GI Joe make it into the line, for example, right?
Yep, that's an interesting. Yeah, actually, again, as you said, it's a deep cut, and that's really the problem. Like,
Mm-hmm.
how deep will the team go?
Yeah.
But I
Well,
guess
Motu does deep cuts all the time now, right? Like, they brought Sunman in, which was such a fantastic addition. I got my character right there,
sure.
or my figure right there, and the Masterverse one over there. They were trying to do Keklar as part of the Eternia
Didn't quite make it.
Kickstarter, but they'll find a way to get Keklar in later on.
They will 100%.
Right.
Brian Stadler. Everyone liked the Castlevania cartoon. Yeah, I get that, and it doesn't even have a toilet to support it, which is weird. You know what I mean? I would have expected by now, Mezco or SH Figure Arts or somebody to actually have picked it up by now. But it's weird that no one's actually capitalized on that. It's very strange. Eventually, it will happen though. Mind and Body. Yeah, Rodimus Major. Eternia Lips. I pre-ordered Shipwreck Torpedo Scrap Iron. Kind of have to pick and choose here. No, I hear you. Again, the pricing is not cheap. It was a very expensive morning for sure. Sculpt Viper Tommy. Oh, Cobra Eels. Must have them. Mind and Body. Eternia Lips. I'm going to do the exact same thing. Baller on a budget. This is a lot of this is the thing that a lot of us have to consider. And on that note, Ken, yay or nay on the Valkyries?
Yeah, yay. Like I said, ideally it's $49.99 to, because it's single in the single pack figures. Single pack figure price times 2 would be $49.99, but that's okay. Like, you're getting something very unique. Like I said, I totally didn't realize it was a Pulse exclusive, so I didn't add it to my Pulse pre-order. Hoping to see it at GameStop. Yeah, it's a yay on this one. It's unique. It's what we need. It's got a great color contrast. It's got a lot going for it.
100%. For me too. It's definitely a yay. Again, prices are what they are, unfortunately. But in terms of our overall collecting goals, I really do think there's some amazing things.
I'm not trying to be the person who's, in case anybody watches the replay, I'm not trying to be sour on the pricing. I'm just trying to say that I empathize with my fellow fan who's also noticing the price hikes all the time. At the end of the day, I bought almost everything that we showed tonight.
As I said, the completionist mentality right here.
Completionist mentality, but I'm not actually a completionist. The mentality, all bluster, all talk, no walk.
You're fooling me right now, Ken. Monkey Jeebus, get Taylor Sheridan to do GI Joe. Ooh, yeah, interesting. Nolan. No, I already read that one. Mind and Body. Eternia Lips. I'm doing. Oh no, I already read that one too. I'm so far behind.
Oh, have you got a bunch of chats that are starred? Is that what's going on?
No. What happened was the chat went backwards for whatever reason. Toy Bounty Hunter. So the Arctic bats, snow bats, ice bats, familiar bats, freezer bats. I mean, we already have the crimson bats. We already have the Copra Python bats. We already have bats everywhere. Everyone wants a bat. We all need bats.
You know the one I'm waiting for if they ever do it. Iron Grenadier bats.
Oh, you know they're going to do that. They're not going to. They've literally. I just explained they have every other bat in the world. Now we're going to need another bat for sure. I mean, come on, it's a foregone conclusion, Ken. They're going to make that bat. It's coming.
Okay, I'm going to show the red. I mentioned Red Laser's army.
Oh, wow. Oh yeah, that does look good. That does look good.
That is the Iron Grenadier bat that Red Laser's army did. Imagine this, but in a classified look.
Yeah, that was Destro's squad, wasn't it?
Yep. Yeah. Iron Grenadiers, Destro's
yeah.
squad.
Very
look cool. At how gorgeous
he does look. In terms of repaints, that is beautiful. Wow, that's crazy. Mind and Body, Brian Stadler. Yeah, it's free money to make action figures for the Castlevania show. Again. I'm surprised nobody's picked it up. It's kind of strange that way. Brian Stadler, my tongue lasher and hypno came in my pile of loot on BBTS, waiting on Cover Girl. There you go, brother. Take your time, my friend. Take your time. It's not going anywhere. Mind your body. I'm liking the Valkyries, but others are taking precedence. I know the prices are just pretty crazy. Kid Chuckle, that Grenadier is sick. Yes,
If I
it
could reach my Dreadnought
is.
one, um, they made a Dreadnought one as well.
Oh my gosh,
So
just crazy.
yeah.
Dark Kuto saw the 1/6 scale. Storm Shadow looking insane. Is that the one from Mesco?
No, 1/6 I think is 3-0.
There, but who else is doing 1/6? Because isn't Mesco? Oh no, yeah, you're right. You're right.
No,
Mesco's
Mezco's doing like the cloth-like
Mesco's
ones,
doing
but
1/12.
they're 1/12
Yeah,
scale.
1/12. 1/12.
Yeah.
Okay. That's awesome. Ken, overall, like final thoughts. How was today in terms of a GI Joe presentation? What are your final thoughts on this, Ken?
It's been their best reveal day in terms of what you could pre-order, what renders were shown, what names were dropped. If you have to complain about something, is Scrap Iron a few dollars too much? Is Shadow Tracker too deep a cut too early? You need some variety, not so much in the price, but you need variety in terms of the characters. So what was there to really dislike about today? When I went to pre-order the Pulse exclusive Snow Job, it wasn't sold out in 30 seconds, so the bots were clearly not an issue. I just think that the way they did this reveal, it's like you don't know what you're gonna get, and it's like your budget isn't. How much budget do you set aside for a day like this? This tells you that you better set aside quite a bit if you can help it, because you had to make some choices today. Like I grabbed most things, but not everything. There's a few people who did grab everything. More power to them. There's a few people like what Radical Toys was saying in the chat who only needed to get 2 figures because that's all he wanted. There's so much variety. It looks like a bright future for the GI Joe classified line. In terms of character styles, nice packaging that we saw today, good accessories. Keep doing what you're doing. I want more of the same is my conclusion going forward.
Absolutely. I totally agree. Damn mute button. I totally agree with you. This is definitely one of the best reveals and pre-orders that I've ever seen. No real duds in this in this particular live fan stream. The name only reveals are really exciting. The pipeline reveals are very exciting, and again, just a wonderful day overall to be a GI Joe fan, 100%. Just as a reminder for what happened today, the figures the figures were put available on HasbroPulse.com, and a few of them have already sold out. The 2 exclusives, which are only available on Hasbro Pulse, are still available, so do not sleep on this, guys. Snow Job and the Classified Series Cobra Valkyries, $34.99. Sorry, $34.99 for Snow Job and $54.99 for the Valkyrie 2-pack. A little bit of an ouchie on both, but again, they are available right now. Sold out today was the Scrap Iron and anti-armor drone, $44.99 for the set. Still available are Rock and Roll, Bazooka, Shipwreck, and the Copperhead figure. The Torpedo figure, unfortunately, has been sold out and each of those figures is only $24.99. If you are looking to pick up any of these figures outside of Hasbro Pulse, because of course, if you're not a Hasbro Pulse member, shipping is not included. Definitely go and check out the links in the description below. I have all the Entertainment Earth affiliate links. If you spend over $65 on Entertainment Earth, you do get free shipping domestic within the United States. So listed there are Bazooka, Shipwreck, Deluxe Scrap Iron and Armored Drone, Copperhead, Torpedo, and Rock and Roll. If we just take a quick look at the Scrap Iron, it is still available right now. So, guys, definitely do not sleep on this. They are going fast. Really quickly, let's check on Torpedo. And he is also available at $24.99. So, guys, don't sleep on this. Get your figures right away, because these ones are not going to stick around. They are moving very, very quickly. Ken, final thoughts. What is there anything else to say about this?
Well, first, thanks for the invite, because I was busy all day and I really wanted to do a stream, and I saw lots of people are doing reactions. Toy Kind of Mood, Black Genghis, who's in the chat, I think he was on that Toy Kind of Mood stream. Toy Habits and Geek Dad Life did a collaboration today. I'm not really at Toy Kennections. I'm not really a reactions and news channel, right? Like, I'm very much a thought piece, deep philosophical toy discussions with some history stuff type of channel. So when Mega J was like, hey, let's do a reaction stream, I'm like, I'm there, buddy. Just, if you can just hold out, wait an extra hour for me to get to my computer, I'll be there. So I want to say thank you for that, Jay. So it's been fun. Was looking forward to the stream ever since your invite.
Brother, I always value your opinion, especially when it comes to wrestling and especially GI Joe figures. So I wouldn't have done this without you. 100%. You're always welcome to be on the stream, and thank you for taking your time. I know it's not late, but it is late no matter what.
Well, it's a weeknight, so it feels late. Had today been a Friday and I could have slept in tomorrow, yeah.
There you go. But again, you got work tomorrow. I got work tomorrow. But I just wanted to talk about this now with somebody who really had great opinions and has a wonderful insight on this. So thank you, Ken, for really joining me tonight. The chat's been booming, and really, wow, still 90 people in the stream. Thank you guys for watching. All of you guys this late night, really appreciate it. I know some of you, it's not as late as others, but thank you guys for being here tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure. Yeah, guys, I want to thank my very special guest, Toy Kennections. Definitely head over to Toy Kennections on YouTube. Give them a like and a follow. If you are into retro and vintage toys and the history of toys and figures from the 70s, 80s, and 90s, and of course beyond, definitely head over to Toy Kennections. You're going to enjoy it. Wonderful retrospectives on all of those. And of course, Ken is just an all-around great guy, even though he tends to go too much into the wrestling, but we'll forgive him for that. It's all good.
I barely mentioned it tonight because GI Joe is one of the things that can push wrestling out of my head for a little while.
Ken, how can people reach you, and let us know what you're working on right now?
Yeah, so you can reach me at Toy Kennections here. Like you see the name Toy Kennections. You can look up Toy Kennections on Instagram, all one word. There's also Toy Kennections Facebook page, and I'm also on Twitter. What I'm working on, the next video that's coming out, actually, I snipped a section out of a live stream, out of a very lengthy live stream that me, Mega J, Sergeant Slaughter, Slaughterhouse, and Ostradamus Toys did a month ago, where we debate about the Sword of Omens and how powerful it is. So that's the next video that's coming out, because I felt that one deserved, that heated part of the discussion deserved its own snippet, because it was the first time I went over 3 hours on a stream, and I'm like, I don't think everybody caught that part, so I'm going to release that in its own video. And then I've got a bunch of other stuff down the pipeline. Like, for those who know that I've got my Muppet Ralph occasionally shows up on the channel. Like, I've literally got a Ralph puppet. I did a video with him that comes out shortly after that, and I've got a few other retrospectives and thought pieces that I'm working on down the pipeline. So yeah. Oh, and I got a TKO podcast this weekend on the channel, on the YouTube channel. It's not separate. I will have myself, Kato from Kato's Collection Reviews, Dante from the Infinity Equation, and Ryan from the Island of Misfit Toy Collectors all on. We'll be talking about the pre-order conundrum in the toy space is what we're going to be talking about. So lots going on in Toy Kennections. Let's put it that way.
Thank you, Ken. Really appreciate you being here, brother. It's always a pleasure to have Toy Kennections on the stream. Tydarian Hanger says, I had mixed feelings when I pre-ordered these because of the recent warehouse deals that were on the figures I paid full price on last month. Zorana and Dusty. Yeah, I know, Mike. This is the luck of the draw. I mean, sometimes a place will clear out the warehouse.
It's too much of a wild card.
Yeah, this is what it is.
If something sells out, it doesn't go on the warehouse sale, unfortunately. Which Mike's been around; he knows that.
Yeah, of course, Mike knows what he's talking about. But again, we're all subject to the luck of the draw. Sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't. I mean, not everybody can find a $2 Castle Grayskull. But anyway, that was not a flex. That was a joke. Guys, once again, I want to thank everybody for being here tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure. Guys, I hope you're all doing well and staying safe. Guys, one more time, please if you need or want to order these and still want to save on shipping, definitely check out the Entertainment Earth affiliate links in the description below. It will help out the channel, and of course, I'm still not 100% sure, but I do believe that there is 10% off. Don't quote me on that, but at the very least, you will get free shipping if you spend over $65. Guys, thank you again for being here. It's been an absolute pleasure. I hope you're all doing well and staying safe. And as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. Ken, yo Joe, my friend.
Yo Joe and Geek Proud.
Have a good evening, everybody. Geek Proud.